Push it.
Hello,
Push
this
it.
is Divine Sunshine, and this is the Playground Experience. I got my own co-host here, Kathy D, and April Williams. Yay! All right. Tonight's topic. Hey, Tammy, and that's our super fan right there. Tammy's our super fan. Tonight's topic is how not to get swept up by the tidal waves of emotions. So we got a lot of emotions happening and going on this week that we've had. I've found ourselves kind of fighting and trying to really stand our ground with some battles. We just went on ahead and just say, I'll just lay down and just forget me. I'll just lay right here and play dead. Maybe it won't see me. And the emotion was like, excuse me, I see you still. Oh God, I gotta deal with this. Jesus. So we had a lot of towers. I know I have had a tower. I know we had a lot of things happening. We think it's going one way and it ended up going another way. So these emotions, I was like, we got to find out a way of how we can help everybody during these times of how to stay grounded, especially what's going on in the world. I mean, not saying who we are for and who we're against on this channel, but I mean, the state of the whole world right now, especially the United States, is kind of in that emotional upheaval. Like, who is going to be our leader? Like you say, take me to your leader. Who is actually going to be our leader at this point? And so we're kind of, that's going on in the end, especially if you're empathic. You're really feeling as an empath. You can feel the energy too as well. And then you got to deal with your own stuff and, your divine partner. They're going through things. And so it's a lot of shifting emotionally, going through this hodgepodge of this whole cesspool of a lot of energies that's swarming around us. And how do we stay focused within all of that? Okay. So I'm going to turn over to my co-host. Is other things about these emotions that you want to add on to as well? I mean, again, the emotions.
They've been crazy. They really have. It's really been a roller coaster. Um, just when you think, like you said, just when you think you're done with it, here it comes again in another form. Um, I think that really the best thing, and really and truly what we have to do right now, is we have to ground, and you have to breathe. You really just have to breathe through this. Do some of the box breathing. Just, you know, take some time, step away, breathe. That's something you can do at a desk. You can do in a line in the grocery store. You can do it just about anywhere, but you just need to just breathe and breathe through it. And we've got to remember to respond, not react.
There's a big, oh man, it is like, depending on who you are, it's the hurricane scenario.
Yeah.
I know that you had mentioned it in one of your videos, Divine Sunshine, recently, about that being an eye of the storm. And sometimes there's aspects of it in response to Benita's video where you're almost apathetic and you're numbed out to what's kind of happening. You're going through process.
Mm-hmm.
And in addition to Kathy D's advice of breathing, I definitely want to encourage us to anchor through the body as a way of grounding out the emotion and allowing it to shift. Yes, we've made amazing progress. You're watching this video. I know you've made amazing progress. I know you've been doing the soul work, right? Because you only get led to these channels and working with us if you've done a certain level of work and have a certain level of understanding. And it's okay to see it again. It doesn't mean that you failed or you did anything bad if you see these aspects come back at you, because it's a real interesting almost test about your emotional and spiritual fortitude.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm seeing it happen. A lot of people just kind of wanting this anticipation to be over, right? We all feel kind of up in the air. Where do we put our feet down? Well, I'm going to try to control stuff by, micromanaging it. Well, that hasn't gotten us anywhere. I'm going to control stuff by trying to control it, but you can't control what spirit has for you. You can't control the change that's flowing in. So you might as well just learn how to flow with yourself and I'm not saying control, because that's where we start to shut down our chakras, our emotions, our different things like that. I'm saying allowing yourself to open and flow and anchor in and earth through your body these feel these waves of anxiety, and know that this anticipation is the best part, even though it may not feel like it's the best part. Like if you remember when you were a little kid and all you wanted to do, like for me, example, all I wanted to do was go to Chuck E. Cheese for my birthday, right? So is it time yet? Are we going yet? Is it time yet? Is it time? Because I could feel it coming. Because all of us, I don't know, I feel like those of us in the divine circuit feel the goodness about to come. We may need a little bit of reminder every now and again because of how uncomfortable everybody else is. But I feel like there's a positivity on the other side. But the question is, how do I allow myself to be where I am, knowing that things are going to go well, but not knowing what steps exactly? I can't control how I'm going to get to that good thing. I just know it's there. Does anybody else feel that way? Anybody in the audience? Say who's feeling who's feeling the good things coming, but just where's my prize in my cereal box? You mean I actually have to eat the cereal to get to the prize?
Right. And I'm so
Now I'm just ready to get the mixing bowl, dump it all in there, and dig through to get my prize, and then I'll put it all back in before my mom sees I've dumped the cereal out.
yeah. What happened to the wait a second. All this is crumbled up. This is a brand new cereal box. What the
And I'm sitting there playing with my little piece of plastic.
okay. And so
Or you got the one box with no prize in it, and you need to write the company so they can give you your prize.
that's super deep there. But I'm so glad that you had mentioned about it's okay, because I had to find myself almost going back and doing like a reteach or a rerun of a lesson all over again with the DM, and I had to kind of remind myself, it's okay that it popped out back up, because I was kind of in some ways beating myself up, believing that maybe it was something that I had did wrong. And I'm so glad, like you say, it's just coming back to just say, okay, did you really truly learn it? Did you really truly learn the new skills that you've learned from all other things that have actually happened to you? Have you truly known how to apply it? Because this is the time to really apply the thing right now at this time with what's going on. And I'm so glad that you said that it's okay, because I think a lot of us kind of go to that point, or that place is easier for us to say, oh, I didn't learn, it's coming back. That's this what we say, karma, or my lesson is coming back to hit me back again because I didn't do it right the first time, or I must have did something wrong. And sometimes, like you say, it just comes back again, just to see, just to solidify that you really have learned it. And I'm glad to hear you say that, because that also confirmed for me that I had also it wasn't anything that I did anything wrong with that. And that's why a lot of these emotions are coming too. I'd seen somebody say on the video that we have to get into a state of mind when we have things that happen to us, rather the things that we want to manifest is with us, we're going to be all right. And even when the things don't manifest, we're going to be all right. Even when our twin is with us, we're going to be all right. And even if our twin is in distance, we're going to be all right. Everything is working out in our good regardless of it. And that's a good thing for us to kind of really understand, that nothing happens, it happens just. And these things are working out for ourselves. And we have to really hold on to those truths to understand that those are evident, that things, no matter how they're appearing, because it's really easy to fall for these illusions now. It really seems like it is easier for us to really go for what's being seen, and not things what we truly believe. And it's easy for us to kind of get swept away by those things. I know they said next week, some of the astrologists had said, I think maybe about How They Life or some other people that have watched it said next week is going to be a little better. It is going to be better. It's going to lighten up a little bit, but right now we're just at the thick of it, where it's just a hodgepodge of a lot of tsunami of emotions. It's just all over the place until it kind of, the dust will settle down next week. So if we could just kind of hold on until then, have that understanding that things are going to get better regardless, and have that mindset that things are going to. I think intentionality is another thing that helps you.
Hmm.
If you got that mindset to say, hey, and also seeing the light and the shadow of things when you're talking about any emotions. Like, okay, yeah, like I remember Kathy D had told me that a long time ago. Don't lie to yourself. If you see it's not going right, acknowledge it, but then push on through and then give the positive behind that. Because a lot of times, if you even deal with a lot of emotional things that's going on with it, and you keep on saying, ignore it and then name it something more positive, again, your brain is saying, listen here, I'm not dumb. I wasn't born last night. I was born at night, but not last night. So that's not going to work for me. Okay. So you got to really tell me, what am I seeing? What's the shadow of it? But then also saying, okay, now here's the positive of it as well. So I always remember Kathy D saying that. And that's something that helps me also along with that. When I can't push myself to see the positive, because I know it's out there, I ain't the only ones that sometimes you get in the moods and you say, I just can't see it. I'm sorry, I'm stuck in my woe is me. I'm stuck right here wallowing in the mire. I can't see nothing else. But you have to kind of go through that and say again, what's the I see it, I'm gonna call it what it is, but then I'm also gonna say what affirmative as far as what I see in the positive that what it can be too.
And that's where affirmations and mantras come in so importantly right now. And the other reason, like so many of these energies are so crazy right now, is the veil has been so thin. If you are in tune at all with your divine partner, you are getting this wave of emotions. This was the masculine moon that just we just had on the 31st. I mean, we've had some really crazy stuff, and if you're in tune with them, especially telepathically, you're getting all kinds of things, and you have to send it back. You have to tell them, "I love you, but I can't do this right now." Um, Benita and I had talked about it, and that we've got to send it out, and just kind of like that affirmation from a couple weeks ago. I'm so happy and grateful that you can handle everything the universe gives you with success and strength. And we've got to remind that, because we've got to put that out for them, because there are some DMs right now that are feeling so stuck. They don't know how they're going to get out. They know they want out, but they don't know how to go or where to go. And then they're scared to even say anything to us, because they're reliving and rethinking everything they said and did. And truthfully, in a normal relationship, nobody'd give them the time of day. But in a twin flame, it's different, because we understand and we know that it was made for us to grow. Um, I've heard a lot of people this week, especially, talk about um, making sure that you understand it's one thing for them to hurt us. It's another thing um, for the abuse. So don't confuse those two. Um, I don't even remember where I saw it, if I saw it on Facebook or where, but somebody had a quote on there. I wonder what it was like when we signed our contracts. And as you read over everything you were going to go through, your DM looked at you and said, "Now, I'm going to really hurt you. I'm going to break your heart. I'm going to walk away." And you said, "That's all right. That's okay. I'll do it, because it'll be for the best, because you read through the script. You saw what was going to happen. You know what was going to happen, so you agreed to it." There was none of this. As much as we like to joke around and say that they got in line first and it was them talking us into this, I mean, we literally did. We agreed to this just as quickly as they did, because we knew what the outcome was. And so we've got to support them, and we've got to send them love and strength, um, not overly. You still have to handle your stuff and they have to handle their stuff, but we have to give them that support that they can do it, because they are us and we are them. And if we're not supporting them, we're not supporting ourselves. And right now it's really an important time for the divine feminines, especially, because we've been through so much. We're right at the bottom. We're getting that last little bit of crud off the bottom of the coffee pot, and it's coming up in different ways. But we've got to be strong, and we've got to encourage them to be strong.
Right.
I would say that one of the best ways to implement their strength is self-care, is
Yes.
focusing on ourselves for them to become stronger. And then I like the term holding the line,
Hmm.
but holding the line for ourselves. Even when we see these things come up, am I okay? Even when we see these things come
Were
up
you
for
echoing?
ourselves, yeah,
Yeah,
was
you
I?
are echoing. You stopped. Gone.
Great. I know. I was like, okay, thank goodness. What is that back in the studio? Okay.
On
But
location.
April Williams, Channel Divine News.
Yes.
Channel
This
1111.
this just in from Spirit. What's happening here out in the field is we, as we begin to fully we're integrating our actual evolving, right? Because we're constantly in a state of evolving. And as we do this, we're coming across our like egoic identity of self. And part of our identities had to do with this old paradigm that we're shifting out of. And that's what we're seeing. And as we're holding the strength for ourselves, they find the resources and attract exactly what they need. I mean, you guys know the instant manifestation that comes with prayer, the instant manifestation that comes when we actually do a process for ourselves. And it opens so many doors. And as twins, we've come into a space that's immediate. We don't have that lag and karmic response that some people do. So we get those slaps on the wrist and stuff from the universe relatively easily. So if you're getting the advice, take it easy. You don't actually have to learn any lesson or anything the hard way. This is all about smooth sailing and comfort. And as we learn about ourselves and our Venus nature, what we like, what we desire, what we are craving and satisfies us, it's not to deny ourselves, but to empower ourselves within it. And yes, certain things are shutting down. We're actually having to hold that space where things are uncomfortable, but they're getting better. And that's the beautiful part of it. Because before it was uncomfortable, we're going to avoid it, shove it under the rug. We'll push the blame somewhere else, and then it returns itself, and we do the cycle. Now we're seeing the cycle, and we're shifting out of it, and we can see the other people going through the cycle, and whether they want to shift out of it is not even up to us, and we're giving ourselves the allowance that it's okay. We can't save everyone. We're not supposed to. We're only supposed to affect those that we are supposed to affect, right? And so I feel like a lot of surrendering, right? But that surrendering can come with that fight or flight response, or it can come with that full integration. Let's enjoy this wave. Let's grow with it, kind of a thing.
Yeah, that's so true. April's all in my head today. That is so true. That's what I felt. I like was dealing with another person. I was like, I can't save everybody. All I can do is just be here and be supported for you, especially when you find out like your own self is not the only one that's going through the little emotional little hurricane, a tsunami of emotions. You got other people, like you say, the veil is thinning. Everybody across the board, whether they're known as to be divine or not divine, they're going through these emotional upheavals as well. And so that's true. And I had to kind of get to that point where I was like, I can't save everybody. That's not really my journey. That's your journey. I didn't sign up for that. All I can do is just be supportive of you. Now, you might not like the way I'm reacting, but this is it. I have to also protect myself too as well. Otherwise, it'll be your hard lesson. I ain't gonna say karma becomes my hard lesson, and I don't want that lesson. That's your lesson.
And that's part of boundaries too.
Right. That's part of boundaries too as well. Let me get to Kelly Bell. Says, how come he won't show me any emotions? I will let y'all take it, and then I'll put my 22 cents on that.
He is
What's the
protecting
reason?
you.
Huh?
He is protecting you.
There you go. Okay.
If he is not
I
showing
said,
you emotion, he is
good answer.
protecting you.
I got a couple of on top of that
Right.
one, because that's definitely part of it, because it's never just one clear answer.
Right. No, it's
Honestly,
never.
There's several ways to get to the
It's
number
never.
9. You know, there's several ways to get to the number 9, and there are several reasons why he's not showing any emotions towards you, or you're being ghosted, or all kinds of stuff like that. Yes, there's the protection aspect, but there also is the self-reflection aspect. There's a codependency aspect that's out shifting, where you don't even have to depend on his emotions to determine where you are in your feeling about the situation. When you love your twin and you're in that connection, you're in it to win it. Doesn't matter whether they are there with you or not, right? So once you are married to the process, and everybody's form and space of a way of connecting and doing this is completely different, but once you are fully involved in the process, it becomes a different flow. The emotions and the connection and the vibrations, they come from other forms. Confirmation, right? So they come
Yep.
from other
Mhm.
forms. So try not to make it so black and white about you getting feedback directly from him, because that has to do with your ego and your self-esteem. But make it about, how can I release myself from needing this, right?
Mhm.
From needing him to show me emotion. And once you have that, then you get all the emotion you want from all the places, right? That's how. Anyway, so how come he won't? Did I answer why he
Yeah,
won't?
you answered.
Because, okay, you won't because you need to prepare yourself to receive genuine emotions.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. Abel went straight for the solution.
That's where I'm at these days. I'm like,
You
look,
like,
we can
what
fix it.
about this? This the issue right here, okay?
But
This is the problem.
I'm like, I can feel you from 1,000 miles away,
What,
over
1,000 miles
a thousand
away?
miles
Yes,
away.
that is the problem of it. Or we can say, simply put, also, I'm gonna add on it because we all. That's why we have this show, so we all put our own perspectives on it. So she gave me the straight solution. It begins and ends with you. That's bottom line what April is
Mhm.
saying. Okay. Also, another way, if you want to look at it again, is sometimes they just don't know the emotions. You got to remember again, you got all kind of family dynamics as well. People telling them what the emotions is, maybe they don't even know clearly. Most of the time, I know from my experience, from my DM and from my dad being a DM, they don't know really how to even define it. It's like, what is love? Baby, don't hurt me no more. It's just really no definition as to what it is as well. So that's a lot of times why they don't show emotions, because they're scared to. They don't know which one is the right emotion to actually. But then going back to what April
Um,
said is, again, you don't wait for them to divine what is the emotion for you. You still got to look and see within yourself, what is it that you are showing that maybe you too don't know how to express your emotions, and that's how he's expressing and mirroring it back to you. So that's another aspect of looking at it as well. Somebody said something between, oh, Kelly, here she goes. She did it again. She said, and all three of us are empaths. I say yes. Kathy
Oh
says yes.
yes.
April says yes. So that's a trifecta. It's a yes. Where's your prize? Like a scratch and sniff.
Yeah, you
Let's
never
scratch.
want to go to Walmart with the three of us. No.
No.
Mm-mm.
what else is coming up with the emotions thing is when you're breaking family paradigms. Because I was like, who's in whose head now? He doesn't know his feelings. But when you're breaking generational curses and family paradigms and stuff like that, you wait for all that fallout before you go and like make love. You don't go and get your lover in the middle of war and be like, okay, let's do this, right? Let
Hell
me
no.
show you all these affections
I
when
don't
it's
even do
not
that.
safe.
Mm-mm.
So it's getting sustainable, baby. That's what it's all about. The green movement. It's all about sustainability and how can love of twin relationship be sustainable, especially when it's so intense. It has to. Each individual has to come to an inner knowing and an inner balance so that they can hold that third energy together.
Right. Yeah, and that is true. Yeah, it's all the family. Most of the time I know that it comes from family. I could think about my dad as DM. It just has not been shown how to show love. It's more so of protecting and shielding. doing that. So a lot of times, and sometimes they say and they thinking they are showing it. It's like, what's the problem?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're not showing the. I am showing you. I might just don't speak the language you do, but I am showing. So that's another way of aspect and looking at it too, as well. Was there anything else?
Well,
How's that?
Kelly,
What you mean
then
by Wanda? What do you mean by how's that? I don't know. Did we say something? She says how's that, but I don't know what that's in reference to.
well,
Well, I'm
she
gonna.
posted that right after I had said protecting,
Okay.
and
Okay.
uh, with that, I believe it's that they're not they're either in a situation that if you got involved in, you would wind up being extremely hurt, or you've still got healing that you need to do. So they're pulling back because remember, you are them and they are you. And so whatever a lot of times is aggravating you about them, you need to step back and look at yourself and say, where in my life am I doing that?
True.
Because it and like April says, it goes back to that self-care and that self-love. And um, Kelly, I completely understand, because she later on goes down and says sometimes it sucks because I feel like I need it, reassurance and all that. You've got to learn to reassure yourself. And trust me, I was an only child, so I had an abundance of reassurance. And my mom's passed and my dad has dementia, and so I have none. I mean, other than my other family, which is wonderful. But it's you have to learn to reassure yourself. You have to learn to step in, and because you are them. And you know what, when you give yourself that, you've got this, girl. When you've done it enough and you're tuned in enough, you hear them, you feel them, you know. And there are times even now, I've been on this adventure so long that there are times that, there is no communication, and I'm good with it. I'm fine with it. Are there days that I miss him? Of course there are days I miss him. There are days it just rips my heart out. And there are days that I'm okay with it. And I know it'll be okay. And I know that, we'll be together. And so that's the only way to handle it is, but you have to become your own cheerleader.
Yeah, and when it's times like that, it throws you to go right back to really knowing yourself.
Mhm.
It goes back to eternity again. You're looking outward. I was watching somebody's video and they was talking about the twin flames and how to recognize the journey and how it's different than just I call it secular or regular relationship that's out there, of understanding that that's where that trust of self, trust of knowing, trusting of what your heart is saying, because a lot of times you look at them, it's a whole different dialogue that's going on than what's going actually being shown in the 3D self than actually what's going on behind them, the mask that they're wearing too. So you got to kind of be a little careful as far as how you're juggling that too as well, because they can sometimes also show you one way and it's a whole different thing that else, something else that's going on. That's why you got to really be able to get in touch with that heart there too. And then that's again being reliable on them. That's another kind of attachment. Again, in the twin flame thing, the attachment stuff causes repel. So you don't want to be, attached and reliant on a certain feeling or a certain emotion that they're giving, so it can make you react a certain way. So that's another thing that you have to kind of be very cognizant of as well, because that rely on that, because they could have a poker face. You got to be able to read between the lines behind that as to what's actually going on. So that's another thing that you have to kind of watch as well. Oh, you're
And
welcome, Kelly Bells.
Um, I see this coming up, and it kept coming up for the past couple weeks. So let me just, since I haven't made my video, and the video I did make turned out silent, whatever. Um, there's this whole, I want my happily ever after. Yeah. There's this whole, we're going to, once I'm connected to them, then everything will be smooth and I will be, no, 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 no. learning to love you as you are in this now, learning to be comfortable in this state of tension, in this state of feeling without, in the state of full abundance and receiving, and also opening yourself up to receive love in the many, many forms that it comes in. If you have the right people around you and you trust what's going on, you can say, hey, I'm in this state today. Somebody, what's up, you know? And what's beautiful about having that type of community, and I know Divine Pisces 222 has a free online forum that you can be a part of for twin flames and stuff. But you you then have a sounding board to count your moments with when you're in a state of tension and you want to flee the moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because the reason you want to jump ahead is you think that being with your twin is going to be better than being with yourself. But if your twin is yourself and you don't want to be with yourself, then that's something to honestly have a conversation, reflection about with yourself.
And that's the
And
same way when people say, well, my twin will never get it right. You're just saying you'll never get it right.
a lot of, for lack of better word, the female energy is very big on nurturing and a codependent type of behavior that's not necessarily balanced. So the more we bring ourselves into our strength and our passion and show our beautiful loving and nurturing outside of just this one aspect of things that I want, which is this partner, then we start to see the richness of life, like the importance of why you're living your life, not just trying to get to the goal, to get to the ending. Who needs not? Spirit says we're in danger, and someone needs some resuscitation. It says fire 911. Who's on fire?
Yes, action. Fire means action. You gotta take some action on that statement there.
Spiritual loving oneself is such a beautiful skill and dance that the fact that we spend parts of that time aching and pining over another being means that we haven't been thoroughly enjoying ourselves.
Right.
And how can someone else enjoy you if you're not willing to enjoy yourself? If you're not willing to explore you? And I'm not always saying exploring the negative, dark aspects. There's also positive, fun aspects. When's the last time you laughed and enjoyed and put yourself in a vibration that attracted your twin, that attracts the energy and holds it there? It's not, yes, you might have met when you were in a state of pain, but it's not that being in the pain that attracted you. It was the filling up of that space. And so it's recreating that relationship so it no longer has the push and pull. It just has the, or what is it, the fight or flight, or the,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Both of them, they're right.
yeah, but it comes into that magnet stage where you're like, okay, we may have some tiffs every now and again because we're still sorting ourselves out, but we love ourselves enough to have that conversation,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Right.
we've got to get out of that habit of thinking everything's going to be happily ever after. We've got to break that mindset of the damsel in distress, that we're going to be saved. We have to save ourselves because it's a union, and in a union you're equal. And that's what we have to remember. It's not, me man, you woman, kind of Tarzan Jane-ish. This is, we're together. Yep. Nobody's going to hit you over the head and drag you by the hair. Well, I mean, unless you're into that, and that's a whole nother show, but, but, oh, Dr. Smith is back. Yay.
Yay!
But we have to get out of that, and not only for those of us in the twin flame, as an example to all strong women. We have to do this for society. when we stop expecting to be saved and we save ourselves, we see somebody else and there'll be somebody else watching and we might not even know they're watching, but they're going to say, you know what, I can do that too. I can do that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we've got to do. I mean, this twin flame thing, yes, when we're brought with our divine partner, the example we will lead with is amazing. But the example that we lead with individually is as important as our union is. So even if you're not in physical union, you still have to lead with that unconditional love, that light, that caring, that strength. And what you and trusting your intuition is so important. You have to, what you know, what you know. My favorite quote from Bonita, and once you understand that, all the worry and the chaos about, well, where are they and what are they doing and all that goes away.
That's interesting that you have brought that up because, and I don't forgot which reading it came up with, and I was so kind of like thrown off, perplexed. I was like, why did this separation card come out? And I can't remember which one I did this week, and it was saying the same thing like you. It's just I told him, I said, get out of that damsel, like I got to be saved, that damsel in distress kind of mode, because it was like you playing it like the role, like you got to do this as my honor, like I'm supposed to do this, this is the role I'm supposed to play, and I'm playing it well, and I'm committed to playing this role. But then you also got this, I'm the victim. So again, that kind of way of what we're doing about divine feminines, and we have been saying this for the longest, from like even last year, that this was the feminine's year. We had the Me Too movement, which caused us to kind of open up and break open, and cause for us to really start looking at our divine feminineness in a different way, to understand it's like no more of being a victim, no more of men telling us about what we're supposed to be, how we're supposed to be, how we're supposed to act. It's okay to be a WOMAN woman. So now is us coming into this divine twin flameness. We have to really understand that, it's okay to, like you said, Eve stands alone or whatever it is without the divine masculine, because we have to really make sure that we understand that we've got it for ourselves. It's like you can't bring anybody else to the table to eat unless you've got it together. And I think a lot, like you say, of us, the divine feminines, and some of us, again, it depends on how you've been raised, or your
Mhm.
background, or even the society, or how social media, or whatever way you view yourself as a woman. Some of us are still in the twin flame aspect. I bring it in that 3D kind of into the union, into the connection, which is causing us to really try to play it out in a way as if it's just like again a regular relationship, and it causes for us that go back into that old paradigm or that old belief system of, again, I need my partner, I need my, my divine counterpart, I need my divine partner. And that's a problem too. I want to also flip it around, and it brings me to about that is, we have to also remember, again, we're so busy about this mission, that again, the love part still has to be there too. I think we're getting pushed away from that as well. I think now we have gotten away from it because we keep on saying about bringing in the love part as well. But there's still some ones that still hanging on to that mission thing. And we're forgetting about the part of the love, loving ourselves, loving of our partners, just love in general. And that's another aspect that I believe that, again, when you're talking about that, it's not even a damsel. I think I'll put it a nice way. We want to have that love dynamic, but we got to remember it's not about the romanticism. It's not about the soap opera or the Fabio off the horse kind of thing. It's just really about really truly understanding the purest form of love. And that's what we're bringing to the table, when we're talking about this connection. And I
Mhm.
think that's where we got it, but we're still trying to take, I keep on feeling like they're showing me like a cookie cutter, like we keep on trying to take that and apply it to this, and they're saying it don't equate, it doesn't fit, you can't use that for this situation. So in their defense, yes, you are right about the love thing, but it's not the love that you think that it should be when we're talking apply it to the twin flame connection on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me? Am I
Yeah, you
okay?
okay?
Okay. So what had come up for during that was this sense of, well, if I let them go, they're gone. And that's not accurate. Energetically, if we pull out the masculine feminine, I'm one part, they're the other. When we look within, we realize we're both, right? We have our alpha and our omega. We get to learn to stand for ourselves. We are pulling our masculine energy and strengthening it, which, when we have the structure, the feminine is allowed to fully flourish because she has everything set up for safety around her. And until the feminine feels safe and protected and secure, does the masculine or ready to shed, does the masculine stay around and stay consistent, right? Because we are no longer what we were. We're becoming what we want to see in this world. And as flag holders, a majority of twin flames, we're all fighting something, or dancing with it, or flowing with it, however you want to put it. We're all in a state of, we have challenges, and we're going to continue to have challenges because that's part of this cycle of lifetimes of learning. It becomes easier for future generations. You've seen how quick the kids get computers and stuff these days. Like, I don't know how my son learned how to do it, but he learned how to open the iPad, you know, and he's 2 years old. And I was like, I know I was teaching it to you. I knew you were going to learn it, but how did it happen? So the same way, these next twin flames that come in, they're not going to have the level of, for lack of better, the only thing I think of is tumult, right? Like, of this jarring, like, oh, we're climbing up a hill with a giant backpack full of boulders, and it's like, you could have put that, or the 16 hefty bags, right? You could have put those hefty bags down at the bottom of the hill and just walked, but you wanted to carry those hefty bags. And once you realize you've got them and you put them down, the walk becomes lighter. It becomes easier. And then you're like, oh, yeah, I was on a mission. Oh, yeah, I can enjoy this hike. I can enjoy this view now. Versus, oh, I've got to have it this way. I've got to carry this particular burden. And so, oh, well, if I carry this burden, that means he's carrying that burden, but he doesn't want to carry it. So he's ignoring it. So now I'm carrying the burdens for both of us, like, let it all go and become back into the now. What do you actually want to see? And then, yes, the past stuff will come up. It'll kind of shift itself. And you say, I'm no longer identifying with that, be it familial, be it just the personal life traumas and whatnot. And I think we're getting clearer. I feel the strength within us, but there's something about the independence that we question. There's something about the pleasure that we question. Like, is it supposed to be easy? I feel like it's supposed to be hard. So I'm going to make it as difficult and as uncomfortable for myself as possible. And that's something that a lot of us are shaking off. Oh, I want to take his burdens. I want to take all these issues away from him, and I want him to be happy. But you're sacrificing yourself, and that's something that, yay, guess what? You get to relearn how to let that go too. And so I'm really proud of us overall. We've come through a lot to get where we are, and we still have plenty of places to go. But as we let go of the hefty bags, as we let go of those rocks, things become easier and funner. I'm not holding hefty bags. I can now link arms with Divine Sunshine and Kathy D, and we can now skip up this hill. Oh shit, I didn't tie my shoe. I tripped a little bit. Hold on.
And the other thing too, I think we have to remember that where we get caught in the paradigm of the victim mentality and needing to be saved, the damsel in distress, most of the time, just in general, people that I have talked to that are on this adventure, The DMs are the ones that come in and save. If they, they come in and save the day, they make it better, they fix it. And so as we stand in our power of taking care of ourselves and fixing ourselves, now that's not saying that I'm going to go out and like change the oil in my car. That would probably be pretty dangerous because I'd probably put it where the windshield wiper fluid goes. But, and,
I can change my oil. I can
no,
change
good
my
girl.
And do
My
it.
car is crazy. You have to take off the front wheel to change the battery. So I'm not, um, yeah, but so there are things that they do and we can do, that we're good at. Now, I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is I don't need someone to save me. I don't need that I'm having a bad day. Well, I have other ways of pulling myself out of it. I don't need to hear him tell me it's going to be all right. I know it's going to be all right. I feel it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. So we have to understand that as we are getting out of the damsel in distress, ideas, they are getting out of the knight in shining armor. And so as they shed that armor, which is, here we are, oh, save me. They're actually taking that heavy chainmail off, and that's a very vulnerable and exposing thing to do.
I'm picking up the lesson is to learn is to switch roles when you said that. Because it's time for me to put on the divine feminine energies or the female, whatever, to put on that armor and to save. And the DM is for them, or the male avatar is for them to understand it's okay to be saved sometime.
Hmm. Oh, and they don't like that.
And they don't like that. But you have
No.
to know that sometimes you do need help. But that's when you were talking, it was like the lesson is to learn the role reversal. There is no right role that it belongs to. It's
That's
whatever
probably one of
role
the
that you
worst
feel
fights the
like you
DM
need
and
to
I got
play.
into.
Yeah, at that time that you need.
Hmm.
It's no right role. So if I feel like I want to put on the armor, that's cool. But
Hmm.
see, society wants to put out, oh, you shouldn't do that. Let a man do that, girl. Let him pump the gas for you. What you do? No, I can do this. No, don't do that. That's not your place. So again, that's the role you're trying to put in. God said, I need help. I don't know how to figure this out. I don't know how to do this. No, man, you're supposed to know the answer to everything. I don't know what you're doing. Oh, no. So again, it's okay to be with the skin that you're in. Playing reverse role reversals. It's okay if that happens energy wise. And I think also in the twin flame things, and I've seen that happen too in the community, as being having this channel. A lot of people still not understanding that it's not really a dedicated divine masculine in a male and a divine feminine in the female. It doesn't go, it's not defined or assigned to your gender for that.
Right.
You swap energies on an as needed basis. Again, and I love how April had introduced that, and I've been taking it and running the alpha and the omega. And a lot of them, I've seen Twin Flame All Stars. He's been saying that for the longest. Not the male that he said I just say that so it's easy for you to understand and follow me. But I see a lot of people are now coming to that understanding that it's not just a defined one. It goes in
Mhm.
and out. Those energies too, as well. I'm
I
trying
like
to.
what Kiki said here.
Yeah, that's what I was reading. I'm like, I think also the damsel in distress feeling may come from having to be so independent for so many years. You get tired and want to be saved and want to be helped. And that is true.
That is true.
That is true. It does come from that as
Hmm.
well. And as I said, it's okay for you. It's a balance to everything. Everything has a balance. If you're too extreme, that's when you're off centered, and that's what we have to kind of understand. That's why I said about the male. It's okay if you do get in a damsel in distress kind of mode too. Yeah, you've been saving the world. Other people, a lot of times they say the divine masculine has a lot of responsibilities from a lot of readers, and they say the same thing. So of course, I'm sure he's gotten to the point that he wants to be the divine masculine energies feels like he wants to be saved as well, and so that's where we have to find that balance as far as who do we lean on, who do we look for support from in those kind of circumstances as well. So Dr. Smith, what's he say? The help is equal. The DM can and will be the one in distress. Equal roles balance. All
Mm-hmm.
right. That's my mentor. Yes. April, you had something? I see you squinting. The sun got you.
There was okay, so what I is coming through is, let me see what I can do. Does that change anything? All right, cool. I had a little echo there. So I still have one. Lame. I'm gonna try to pull one headphone out. That'll help me. Okay, so there, we're there's a point of overclassifying and overjudging and shoulda, coulda, woulda-ing yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you genuinely need help, then you get to learn how to ask for that help. Because even though we are all empaths and very psychic and so on and so forth, that's the generations that are coming. We're not even going to have cell phones, I think, because we're all going to have that kind of link. But we are learning how to speak up for ourselves. We're learning how to ask for what we need, what our pleasures are, what our boundaries are, all of these things. And so doing the old paradigm where you think you can just get away with acting like so, or doing something that you've normally done if you're in the distress mode, or the acting like the save me kind of situation, all of this is shifting and forcing you to get out of your comfort zone and into this evolving healing connection, right? We are the gatekeepers for world the new world order, the new world age, the Aquarian age. And because the Aquarian is such a social sign, and it's all about connection and the world and everyone all together, humanity as a species, we twins as flag holders get to find our individual balance. Because if the knight in shining armor and the princess thing worked, you'd already be in union, yeah. But since the mold was broken and the all the energies is redefining, and we're redefining our state as humans on this earth, because it's not just about us anymore. It's about our entire planet and the harmonization and the elevation of her, because we are her human manifestations, right? She created us. We are birthed of her. So, in that energy, we have to find a balance that functions. And saving someone consistently is not sustainable.
Mm-mm.
So, I would like to challenge everyone this week to find in themselves what has not been sustainable and what's the next sustainable way. And I'll reference back to what we were talking about with Kathy D's advice of going in. It was what Divine Sunshine had mentioned of Kathy D's advice. It's going into that changing of the story. Because I often say this too. Someone's complaining about a situation, right? Oh, it's this, it's that. It's always like this. People always treat me like that. And I'm like, do you realize that you're talking into a paradigm and you're creating an existence? So now that you've set it out like that, let's go ahead and rewrite that conversation. Mm-hmm. And all these little rewrites are going to change the entire play. It's going to change the entire adventure storyline, simply because you decided, you know what, instead of me over sacrificing myself, because that's my old pattern, I'm going to say, wow, I learned how to be so caring and loving and nurturing and to know when my help is actually going to be received and when it's not. So I know now how to better use my energy. And I'm so thankful for that. Right? So we changed the storyline from being disempowered to being empowered. And we also created that alpha omega balance, right? Because not only are we putting out, but we get to think now, how do I receive love? How do I receive assistance? How do I know how to ask for what I need? And this will help us better define what's happening when we have emotional upheaval, because it's usually some story we tell ourselves or something that we have an expectation for that is falling short, or something that we were taught, like women act like this and men act like that. And it's like, oh, no, it's nothing like that. We get to totally redefine that right now. And that's all individual. So I'm excited to be in this adventure. I'm excited to have this connection with my wonderful soul family, and I'm excited to be able to put this energy out there with you, because trust me, we all are feeling it. We all are knowing what each other is going through, and it's just amazing, the shifts that are about to come in, because I see it almost like a relief, like when you're thirsty in a desert, and then not only does you come up on an oasis, but it turns out there's a freaking slushy machine, so you get the most luxurious icy thing in the desert,
Or freezer pops. You can have the freezer pops too.
Ooh, that sounds
Yes.
good.
Thank you, Jesus. Out in the oasis. Yeah. Yes, 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 yes. I'm seeing some ascension signs happening over there with Kathy D.
Is
That's
she
what we're
going
gonna
into
call the
Zen?
ascension sign.
Is she going into Zen? Oh man,
What?
I can't see. There's a little bit of glare on my phone,
Yeah,
but
yeah, that's what we're gonna call an ascension
it's
sign. I seen it.
it's been downloads like constantly. Everybody, it feels like you walk into a homing beam, for lack of a better word, and then
Mhm.
all of a sudden you're getting all this information, and you're like, I'm getting upgrades. Like I can feel pain body changing, I can feel emotion shifting, and then your whole paradigm outside shifts, and you're like, all right, okay. So trust it, ladies and gentlemen. Trust yourself, especially. Trust spirit got you on the right path, because if you do not trust it, you will fight it, and you will make things be more awkward and uncomfortable, and then spirit's going to kick your ass.
Oh yeah. Mhm.
Yes, most
Been there,
definitely.
done that. Got the T-shirt.
You got the t-shirt
Mhm.
and the mug and
And
the
the mug.
pen and the
Mhm.
hat.
And the koozie.
And the photo of me looking terrified.
And me on the ride. You know.
Yes, yes, yes. All of those great things, those great things. All right, so I can feel one of us, our energy of ascension is like, I want to ascend to another location. So again, I will put it that way. So let's not, before we even begin to wrap up, let me ask April before did you feel a meditation or no? If not, then we can start to wrap up and close up. Before I do it, but you said I was going to. Let me ask spirit with you. Were you feeling anything?
I feel like we've done plenty of the similar things.
Right.
There's just a couple of notes.
Okay.
Um, Women, because this is I can feel primarily female energy right now, or
Okay.
omega energy. We want to nurture, so we tend to self-sacrifice, so we tend to not acknowledge our own needs and desires and what we actually are going through.
Mhm.
Okay.
And so there's the reinforcement to focus on the self, the reinforcement to find what brings you joy and pleasure, so that you can actually call that in, as opposed to calling in the opposite, which is what we have been doing
Mhm.
energetically. So just
Uh-oh.
shifting that.
Did we lose her?
Um,
Or did you guys lose me?
well, I can hear you. Can you not
I
hear
can
me?
hear you.
Okay. You
Yeah.
just
Wait, can
it was
you?
like you went who?
Wait, how
Okay.
about now? Is that
Oh
better?
yeah,
Can you
you're
hear me?
good. It just sounded like how when you get frozen it goes, "Oh." Oh.
Oh, okay. No,
Oh
no,
yeah, yeah.
no, she's moving.
She's moving.
I'm doing the robot badly. Can you see? No, but um, remembering to take care of your needs, remembering to find out what brings you pleasure. And if you find pain on the road to pleasure, congratulations, because now you can release that pain to have even deeper pleasure.
Right.
Um, we can stop focusing outward and focus inward, and the outside starts changing dramatically. And as you start to see the positive feedback with that, especially when you're going, if you go back and review any of our sandboxes, any of our play, a majority of them have meditations in them.
Good
And
stuff.
if you just need something to put your mind around, go and do that. I'm in a state of flux right now, and the world is shifting so much right now that my state of grounding is to say it's okay for me not to always be performing for other people. No
Right, I
offense
understand.
by that,
Mhm.
um, but I love you. There's plenty of energy, and so me showing self-care by saying I'm not gonna force that, right? Because you can force spirit
Mhm.
into any situation if you want to,
Right.
right?
Okay.
You could
What
call
lady?
your DM real in real fast, but if you ain't ready, you guys will hurt each other so much more than if you
Mhm.
just took that extra 20 minutes and meditated every day and then called them in,
Mhm.
even 5 minutes. Anyway, that's all. Focus on yourself and stop pulling other people's energy to distract you from working on yourself.
Yeah.
Yes.
True.
And
Amen.
stop letting other people pull your energy to distract you.
Right. Right. That came out in the reading as well one time. I was like, oh, okay. It's all, especially in the DM energy, saying about that going out there in the world and doing, doing, doing. You feeling like a lot of people that's you're supposed to be helping them, but at the same time, while you're helping them, they're draining from you. So it's almost like you're going out there to save them, and they don't know how to swim, and they making you drown in the process, and they going swimming back to shore, and you're like, well, I'll be darned. I try to come out
And
and save you. And I'm
oh,
like,
and then they do this whole bullshit, this emotional manipulation thing where if all you did was just swim, you'd be on the shore by now. And it's like you were drowning. Yeah, but I didn't notice I was drowning, so I'm just gonna blame say that you're messed up. It messes with you, right? People are messing with people emotionally. There's a game being played right now. Like I know we were talking about the government beforehand, but the system itself wasn't working for a long time. And so now we're basing an election to change what? Everything? I don't think so. The whole system needs to be the whole system's out of order. Wish I knew that. What's going on? No, anyway, let me get off my soapbox and this. Let me stop throwing this sand around before the teacher come out here and get
and
me in
who has
trouble.
gone mad in the sandbox? He's got pails and shovels thrown every damn where in the sandbox. Somebody call somebody. I
Where's
like
her
how
mommy?
Dr. Smith says we can rewrite and re-speak. And then she
Mhm.
spoke of is that beta energy balance? I haven't heard of that before. You know, are you familiarized with that? I have to ask that you got to clarify that. What is that? Is that beta BETA you're supposed to, or is that really beta? BATA energy
Well,
balance.
Kathy D, can you talk about the beta state? Do you know
Well,
about the brain?
yeah, when you're in the beta state, because as we go through their different brain cycles, and the beta state is actually more in tune with your subconscious and your what they would consider like the spiritual guidance. And
Oh,
so you need to balance that out. And that would be listening to it, trusting it, knowing when to trust it, when to, when does that ego part of it creep in and you have to tell it to shut up and get in the back seat. Um, and so that would be what I would take if she's saying beta, because
okay.
it's another brainwave state. It's not one that we really talk about like when we think about REM state and stuff. Those are like
Right. Beta,
cycles we know the
alpha,
most about.
beta, delta.
Mhm.
All
I know
those.
it sounds like you're calling in a fraternity,
Right,
but
Joe, what it did. I was like, oh my God, I'm going back. I'm getting flashbacks. You
I
got to go to
know
Greek
if we could start calling in Sigma Nu and
alphabet. Omicron, beta,
Yeah,
theta.
I'll be leaving. Thank you.
Like,
So
okay, I can
maybe,
tell already. What?
so maybe there's a call for us then to use our free resources. We are right now on YouTube. You could go and heal and look at any binaural beats you want to work at any kind of alpha, beta, delta energy wave. You want to start healing your nervous system, you can start listening to binaural beats about that.
True.
Um, and so allowing the natural system and the flow of it to work for you. So if you want to do some beta work, if you want to do some subconscious healing work, you know, there's all kinds of stuff that we're doing actively,
True.
but passively, there's another set of healing
Hmm.
modalities that can come into play. And that's where we are balancing our alpha and our omega. So throughout the day, if you're consistently just trying to take in other people's energy to kind of suppress or ignore your own or your feelings or emotions, then there needs to be a time where you are purposefully, like Kathy D is saying, retraining, training yourself, training your brain. And she does amazing work with that. Just gonna
She
say when
does.
she
Good
so.
segue. Good segue. Speaking of
Am
Kathy
I winking
D.
the right eye?
Good segue to get us on out of here. All right, here we go. Pineapplefishlifecoaching.com. Check out Kathy D for her good resources, her great resources in getting the mind right and together as far as how to get that retrain the mind. She's the Jedi Master. She's not called that just for jokes. She's the real deal Holyfield. All right there. So go check out at pineapplefishlifecoaching.com. All
And
right.
I'm this
What?
holiday season, because everybody's under so much stress and everything. I am running a special for a 1 hour like hypnotherapy session on stress, overspending, boundaries, things like that. $55 for an hour, to help people through just this.
Y'all better get on that. Y'all better get on that. She's about to blow up and ain't have no time for nobody.
She
So
gonna
y'all
have
better get
time for
that.
us, dang it. No, it's like
Well, yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah. We're
what
soul
they
family. We
said,
ain't talking about
nobody.
that.
You
We ain't
understand?
talking time. We're talking about that. But you know. But yeah, I would definitely book her. She's amazing, people.
She
She's
is
amazing.
amazing.
Thank
She
you.
is, yes, amazing. And then we also have our other amazing soul sister here, Miss April Williams here, made for this goldenlife.com, Golden Lifestyles Unlimited. What you
Aloha.
got? What do you have, ma'am? You got anything going on over there?
I'm actually in a state of rebranding. I'm thinking about buying a couple wigs,
Wait a damn
having a
second.
lot of fun with
You
it.
going too deep now. Okay.
I'm actually going to gain fake multiple personalities because I feel like it would be really fun for the channel
Okay,
if I just
yes.
had other personalities.
Yes.
I
I'll
have a,
send you my teenager. They come with enough multiple personalities.
Amen. Amen to that.
you know, and to truth be honoring, I'm going to enjoy this process where my child is just a toddler before he gets to that ripe, slappable age of teenhood.
Mm.
I
And
remember
it
it like
starts,
it
yeah.
was yesterday.
Now this is the one thing too, for those of you talking about the next generation coming up. They're getting smarter.
Oh yeah.
The difference between just 5 years between my girls, the way they're figuring things out and all that kind of stuff, crazy.
Yeah. They half the stuff we going through, they not even. I done dreamed that too many times. Yeah, about these new ones coming. They see the opening. Let's go. Well, I'm still fooling around. No, let's go this way. It's much easier. That's the old
Hmm.
way. Takes too long. Just right here. One step. That's it. So these new ones, they're the way to go. And then also go to divineunisoul's11.co if you want to get your life right and together about next year. Please make sure that you come and you get your access to bringing in the divine order into the new year, because we know we already spoke about the Aquarius age coming in. You don't want to use the old resources that you had. You want to come in with a new mindset, new tools, new resources. And in our event that we're having on 12/12 at 12:12 p.m. Central Time, just for $12.12, you get a lot of good stuff. We got a lot of good people. We got Benita from Wave of a Beautiful Warrior. She's going to help you and tell you when we're speaking about children, like Kathy D was talking about. You think about having a family, or you having to already have kids that coming in, these new waivers, how to deal with them, how to be a parent to them as well. So she's going to got some good resources in helping us to know. She's going to be at our 12/12 event as well. And then we also, of course, the playground experience is going to be there. But we got David the Soul Mission is going to be there too. He's going to be giving us information that downloads of spirit telling him what to do for the DM for the new year. We also have Sean also from Esotopic, Esoteric. I always mess up.
Extropic
Thank you, thank you,
esoterica.
thank you. I want to call it everything but what it is. Yes, he's going to be also on here too as well. His DM, and he's going to give us a message about things that he's channeled too, as far as what's going to be for the new year as well. And then we also have Patricia McNeely from Twin Flame Soul Merge. She's going to be Twin Flame Merge. She's going to also be at the thing. So that you really don't, because she talks about how the body, a lot of you all, we don't talk about that because we don't know about it that well like she does. But if you want to know why I feel this way and it's not my pain, why I got a headache and that's not my pain, guess what? It could be coming from your twin, your opposite, your divine partner. So she talks about how your energy and your bodies and the different types of bodies also carry each other's energy. So if you want to know how to deal with that, especially into the new year, and she's got a lot of good downloads and things like that, you definitely want to be here. This is all good stuff that you're getting packed in 3 hours. It might be a little longer than that because I keep on getting more people to get on this. I think 3 hours going to hit it. But anyway, so we'll tell you about some great things, some specials that we're going to have also about getting these access pass. This is a place that you don't want to miss, especially you got to come in with the intentions for your new year. You definitely want to hit the event. Okay, so we got a lot of good stuff coming in and through us for this. All right then, and of course with me, I'm just kind of just being and pumping out videos, whatever it is. So right now it's just free and just giving out that content and making sure that I'm giving you keys to union. So just make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to my channel, Divine Unisouls 11. All right then. All right, ladies, get us on out of here. Remember to click like and share and subscribe to this channel so you can get other good resources and good stuff from here, from the playground experience, and from myself. All right, then, Kathy D, get us on out of here.
Remember to empty all the sand out of your shoes and shake out your socks because it's that time of year, so you gotta have socks on now. So get the sand out of your shoes, your socks, and all other places sand has been, especially when April started throwing it there. Uh, get your own bucket, pick up all your virtual trash, take it with you, leave it better than you found it. I'm wishing you the best life ever. I'll see you real soon.
Yes, April Williams.
Stay blessed, stay golden, and remember you were made for this golden life.
Yes, and as always, stay uplifted, stay motivated, stay ascended. Namaste, Nama go. Mwah. Love ya. Until